Hi, I'm Doug from Pivogo, and I'm here with Antoine. How are you doing, Antoine?
I'm doing great. How are you, Doug?
Yeah, I'm really well, thank you. So Antoine's on the first week of our August S2DS program. We're going to be catching up with him every week and following his journey through the program and the boot camp. So today we're getting to know Antoine a bit better, and it'd be amazing if you could just give a kind of an overview of your live career up to this point, and why you chose S2DS.
Sure. So it all started from France. That's where I'm from. I did my undergrad here in physics. Then I moved to Japan to do my master. Since high school, I got a kind of love story with Japan. So I planned to have some future plans over there. Then somehow I changed my mind when I was in Japan. So I came back to Europe for 1 year in the University of Cambridge doing the Triple Part 3. And then I applied for my PhDs and got a position as a PhD student at the University of Washington in Seattle. And so while my master's degree was in physics, my PhD is in mechanical engineering. You could argue that engineering is just like physics, which I kind of agree with that. So yeah, and all that time in academia kind of wore off a bit my enthusiasm for wanting to become a researcher and a professor. And that's where I started thinking about doing a transition to data science. Initially, I thought about transitioning toward web development, then software engineering, and then a friend suggested data science. And it looked like it would have the aspects of the first two that I was interested in, and other aspects that I would also be interested in that the first two didn't have. So yeah, and a friend of mine that I met in Japan had done the S2DS program. He had only good things to say about it, so that's what sold me to the program.
Amazing, that's brilliant. Yeah, I'm also a lover of Japan. I think it's amazing.
All right.
Okay, cool. So I've got 15 quick-fire questions for you that hopefully we'll rattle through. Cool. Are you ready?
All right.
Okay, let's do it. Great. So, question number 1: what's your secret talent?
I'm talentless. I'm utterly talentless. I have lots of interest. These days I'm learning the guitar, but 2 years ago it was the piano. 5 years ago it was the drums. So I'm kind of a jack of all trades, but a master of none.
Amazing. I also play the drums, so let's call it the drums. What languages do you speak?
Well, so obviously French, that's where I'm from. English, Japanese. I've been learning Japanese for the last 10 years, I think, but it's still not as good as my English. And then I picked up a bit of blurbs of some languages like Spanish or Mandarin on the way.
Amazing. What topic could you spend hours talking to me about?
Well, can you guess? It would be Japan. It would be Japan, yes.
Great. What irrational fears do you have?
Ooh, I know the answer to that one, but I feel like it would be maybe too personal to share.
Okay, so, we'll kibosh that one. What's your favorite song at the moment?
My favorite song? Today, I don't know. I know that last week there was this one day when I was listening to Tusa by Karol G and Nicki Minaj all day long. But I was just like a one Tusa day, and then I was just like, okay, I've heard enough. Yeah. But that would be the closest to that.
Amazing. I do the same. If you could predict anything with data science, what would it be?
Like any prediction? It wouldn't be a prediction, but it would be more like a machine, like a model, an artificial intelligence machine that could help people, like give people advice on how they could improve their life, how they could become happier. Because I feel like we got so much material, so much resources today to be happy, and yet people don't seem to be enjoying those resources or be enjoying that happiness material as much as they should.
Very nice. What would your dream job be?
Dream job.
Aside from obviously a data scientist.
Data scientist, yeah. I had several dream jobs, ideas in the past, but it feels like it would be just really dream part-time jobs that could just pile up one onto the other. So let's say the basis would be data scientist. And then on top of that, one thing that I'm very interested in is critical thinking. So I would love to teach, to have a class in critical thinking at a university. And I also have this kid's dream of becoming a novelist. So maybe spending 10, 20 hours a week writing a novel would be interesting. So,
amazing.
yeah.
Amazing. I know John, our head of data science, is writing a book at the moment.
Oh, okay. Interesting.
What was the worst part of your PhD?
Oh, which one do I pick? I would say one of the worst was probably the financial insecurity, because I don't know how it is. I feel like it differs from country to country. I'm doing my PhD in America, and even within my university, it differs from department to department. But in my department, there is no written rule in terms of funding guarantee for the student. So the funding is guaranteed for the first 9 months, and then you somehow have to discuss it with your advisor. And so what most of us end up doing is just relying on teaching assistant jobs, but those are only given by chunks of 3 months contract, like quarter per quarter. So I had, for instance, a friend who was married, he had his baby that had just been born, and 2 weeks before the quarter starts, he receives a mail telling him that he didn't receive any job, like any teaching assistantship. He somehow managed to make it, but that's just to tell you that there's this amount of stress that you have to deal with.
Okay, yeah, sounds very tricky. On a slightly more positive note, what's the best bit about your PhD?
Oh, is there any now? I would say possibly the freedom. So this changes from PI to PI, from advisor to advisor. But for my advisor, we meet once a week. We Skype once a week because half of the time he's not in the same country as I am. And as long as I get the work done, he doesn't care if I start working at 6 a.m. or at 3 in the afternoon. It's just I organize my time the way I want, and I really like to work that way. So that was definitely the best part.
Amazing. Who's been the most influential person for you?
I could pick two guys that I met, two of my friends. Possibly the first one was this Brazilian guy that I met during my freshman years in France, and who urged me to pursue my studies outside of France. Not that there is anything wrong with France, but it's more in the process of go out of your comfort zone, see what's out there, and meet new things. So that's what pushed me to do my master in Japan. That's also what pushed me to do during my undergrads some internships in America and in the UK. So yeah, that was definitely a very influential encounter.
Amazing. Yeah, big believer in making sure you're not in your comfort zone for too long.
Yeah.
What do you like and dislike about data science? I guess one of each.
Yeah, of course. So I would say what I like about data science is that, it is science. So as a PhD, I couldn't do what I do unless I loved science and the scientific method. What I like about data science is that it's science applied. Well, data science is broad, but more often than not, it's science applied to business. And more, this is an aspect of the world that I got to get interested in, trying to see how you could apply science for concrete things that have to deal not to abstract fundamental aspects of science or engineering, but more applying science to create a product, and the product has to sell. So that's something that interests me in data science. What thing that doesn't interest me or thing that I don't like about data science, it's a mess. There's so many papers about it, so many methods, and you look at the last 10 years or you open a manual in data science and you see, well, this method happened in 2016 and it's been like, it took the world by storm and it's been used and everybody's using it today. That's cool. But we're in 2020. Which method right now should I look at? And having to keep abreast of the new methods and realize which one you have to spend your time studying, that's, I would say, the hardest part of data science.
Great. Very interesting. Very interesting. What's the most underrated thing that you know about?
Most underrated thing I know about. It's a hard one, but at the top of my head, I would say, I'm not sure if it's underrated, but I would go with singing. I feel like a lot of people just find singing to be like a funny activity. You know, walking down the street and singing. A lot of people are afraid of singing. They think they have a bad voice, therefore there shouldn't be any pleasure in singing. But to me, singing is one of these activities that you can do anytime because you only need your own voice, and you don't need to be afraid of singing bad. And it just allows you to let go of the stress, to express your emotions. If you're happy, you can sing a happy song. If you're sad or angry, you can sing a sad or angry song. It's this thing that I think people would benefit from doing more, and that people don't really consider.
Amazing. That is really amazing. Yeah, it's in every culture as well, isn't it? Right? There's nowhere that doesn't have people singing.
Yeah, no, definitely.
Oh, apart from on stage singing, where do you see yourself in 5 years?
5 years. That's also a tough question because 5 years ago, the things that I've achieved in the last 5 years, I would have never predicted I would do by now. So yeah, let's see. Well, hopefully having a data science job, or if not that, a job that I like. I would like to find a job that allows me to how do I say that, feed my international interest. So I would love to be able to connect with, say, companies that do transactions across borders, preferably with one foot in Japan and other foot, say, in America or Europe. So yeah, and where would I go? Where would I be doing that job? I've no idea, and I'm just looking forward to finding out.
Amazing, amazing. Out of the two, which do you prefer, R or Python?
Oh, Python, definitely Python. Yeah.
I think
Sorry for the R
Python
people.
side as well. And out of the three, which is your weapon of choice, Linux, Mac, or PC?
Until recently, it was PC, but I had to change laptop recently, and I decided to dive into Mac. I'm not sold yet because it's been like, I don't know, a couple of weeks since I've used, but so far so good. And I might just be a balance between PC and Mac.
Amazing, brilliant. Great. Well, that's the end of the 15 questions, Antoine. It's amazing. So you're a trilingual multi-instrumentalist who loves singing and loves Japan. Amazing, fantastic.
That's me. Yeah.
I look forward to our next session next week.
Okay.
And I hope you have a great week and continue to enjoy the program.
All right. Well, same good week to you, and I'm looking forward to next week.
Brilliant. Thanks very much, Antoine. Take care.
Cheers.